Hey guys, this is Simon and welcome back to the tutorial series with libgdx. So last time we created the base project and imported it to our IDE, and in this part I want to discuss a little bit first of all about the problems. The problem that we had with this square here, so that when we resize the window that it looks strange and not as we wanted maybe, and also a little bit about the life cycle of the game. So for that, let's check out first the core class. So that's the entry point of our game, as we learned the last time. And you can see here that it extends this so-called application adapter, and we override three methods: create, render, and dispose. And what does that mean? And there I want to also refer to the, in my opinion, very good documentation of the libgdx project. So when you go on the documentation page, then they have a Wikipedia page where you can find a lot of the topics that you will need when developing a game. They also have a tutorial for a very simple game where you learn a few things and the different topics there. And what we want to know now is what is the life cycle of an application. So when we, let's say, press the button to start the game, then the application starts, and then it's calling the create method. So that's the thing that we see here. So in this create method, you normally set up some things that your game is needing. So for example, let's say a sound manager, which is then responsible to play sounds, or create something which is responsible to draw images to the window and so on. So to set up things at an early stage, so that's normally done in the create method. Then resize is called, which, is it overridden? No, it's not overridden, but we can check it out. So it's an interface application listener. And when you implement that, you need to override those methods. So resize is then important. So whenever we resize the window, or the window gets stretched, or maybe on an Android phone, when you change the orientation of your phone, then resize is called with the new width and height of the game window. Then the application is running, and then in a loop, it's calling the so-called render method. So that's this one that we also see here. And in the render method, as the name suggests, there is the rendering happening, so the drawing of the different stuffs of the game. But also, that's what I do not really like about this library, but that's just how it is. There you're also doing the updates of your game logic. So let's say Super Mario, for example, is moving from the left to the right with a certain speed, and updating his position is also happening in the render method. So every frame, let's say, it's really every frame, this method here gets called. It's the render method. Okay, so that's one then in a loop. Then there's a special case on phones. So let's say you play your game on a phone, then your mother is calling, crap, then you need to pick up the phone, and then the application goes in a pause state because it's in the background of the phone and nothing should happen anymore. So it's paused, the sound stops, some resources are getting freed up so that your phone has enough resources for the phone call and so on. And once you go back to the app or to the game, then the resume method it's called. So it's those two methods here, pause and resume, they are important for phone development. If you are only developing your game for a desktop application, then you can ignore those two methods, if I remember it correctly. Okay, and then it goes back after the resume to this render loop. And then at some point you want to close the application, finish the game, close the window. Then, okay, first it calls pause, then dispose. That's important to free up all the memory that you have allocated for images, like it's called textures then in the end, for sound files that you have loaded, for, I don't know, for some certain things where you need to get rid of and free the memory when your game is closed, and then the application stops. So basically that's what's happening when we press this green button here. So the window starts up. Now we have the render loop. So this thing here is called now every frame. And when we change the window size, resize is called. And when we close it, dispose is called and everything gets freed up and the game is shut down and everything is okay. So that's the basic concept behind that. We will learn a lot more about that in the future parts because that's not everything that you need to know about that. There are a few other important things. But one more thing that I want to cover in this part is the problem with the image that we see here. So the logo here of the Bad Logic games, it kind of loses its aspect ratio when we resize the window. And normally for a game, I don't really like that. There are people out there who think that it's okay, so the images should just get stretched to the way my window looks, but I personally don't like it a lot, so I would like to keep the aspect ratio at all time for this image. And the solution to that is hours and days of mathematical formulas and calculations. And luckily enough, we don't need to do that at all because there are, of course, things available in the library which help you with this thing. And that one is called a viewport. So there's also a documentation about viewports. What it basically does is the following thing. That assume that that's our window. And then there's, of course, some concept behind what should happen if our window gets bigger, if it gets smaller, and what should it do? Should it just scale it? Should it keep the aspect ratio? Should it do something else? And for that, there are different viewports. So the stretch viewport, that's the one that we currently saw, let's say. So if we make our window big, then everything gets scaled and the aspect ratio gets lost. As you can see it here, everything looks very stretched. Then there's a fit viewport. That's the one that we are gonna use. So that one tries also to scale your game as big as possible so that it fits the screen. But in case the aspect ratio would get lost, then it will use some of these columns on the left or right side or top and bottom side if needed, but it will keep the image or everything of your game in aspect ratio so that everything is correct. Fill viewport is a mixture, let's say, of the stretch viewport and fit viewport. So it will also scale everything to fit into the entire screen, so there are no column or bars at the left, top, right, or bottom side. But your view or your game could be then that the player sees more on the width part or on the height part. So let's assume you have a strategy game, and of course all your players should have the same view so that the player with a bigger screen does not have an advantage because he does see then more of the scene. That should not happen. So a fill viewport would be a bad idea here because people with a bigger resolution can see more of your game. That's basically the disadvantage. Okay, then screen viewport, extend viewport. Never used them before, and custom viewport, I think you don't need them. But I can show you then now how we're gonna fix our square problem. So we want to use, let's say here, a fit viewport. And we're gonna create it with a certain width and height. So for now, there we also will change something in the future. But let's say we want to have, I don't know, 800 by 450 pixels. And that's it, okay? And then in our render method, so what's happening here? So those two lines are removing everything that is currently drawn to the window. So let's say we draw some images to our window, and then of course in the next frame we need to remove everything and draw the new images again to the window, let's say. So this one is defining with which color the window gets cleared. Currently we see that it's red, so when we start it, you see this red color here, but we can also change that, for example, to a black color. okay, then it gets cleared. That's the so-called clear color. So that's what you see here. This one, I don't know, but just use it. And then something that we come back later as well, it's called the sprite patch, which is responsible to draw then images to the window in a very efficient way. And there it's currently, it's a begin statement, then the different draw things. So in this case, the image, the texture is drawn at the bottom left corner. So X is 0 and Y is 0, and then it ends. And now we want to apply our viewport. So there's an apply method, and we want to center the camera every frame. And let's see what's happening now when we resize our game. Nothing, because we forgot to override the resize method, of course. So what we need to do is then viewport update, yes, width and height. Wonderful. And now let's check it again. Okay, so what you can see here, it's a little bit off the bottom left corner, let's say. So we are here a little bit up now, but it's always a square. So everything is good. And the reason why it's here a little bit up is now that we have a resolution of 800 by 450. And as explained before, according, of course, to the resolution that we have now in the window, there will be bars added at the bottom or at the top or on the left and right. So in this case, it's at the bottom and at the top. If we match more our real resolution here, 800 by 450, we see that it's the bars at the bottom and left disappear, and at some point they are coming on the left and right side. So basically, if we would have here, so my resolution is this one for my monitor. It's almost, I think, 16 by 9 aspect ratio. And if we keep that somehow with our virtual resolution of the viewport, let's say, then we won't have bars at all. And of course, if we are not exactly to that aspect ratio, we will have those bars. But the good thing is that our image is now always a square. So it never gets stretched and loses its aspect ratio. So that point is already fixed. Perfect. And I think that's it for now, because I don't want to confuse you a lot at the beginning with those details. So that's it, what we learned now about the life cycle of a libgdx application, and also about the viewport, so how you can view your game. We come back to that later on in additional parts, where we get then more details about that. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you in the next part. Bye bye.